shockwaves rippled through global financial and geopolitical circles just minutes ago, as reports began emerging that legendary investor Warren Buffett was closely monitoring breaking claims that 7 key Israeli military bases had been hit in a sudden and coordinated development. The urgency of the situation escalated almost instantly, with analysts warning that the combination of military strikes and potential market reaction could create a volatile chain of events unfolding in real time. Within moments of the first alerts, international headlines started flashing across media networks. According to early reports, multiple locations described as strategically vital installations were allegedly targeted in what sources called a calculated and synchronized operation. While official confirmation remained limited, the scale of the claims immediately drew attention from security analysts, governments, and financial observers. Some commentators noted that Warren Buffett rarely comments on geopolitical crises, making his reported focus on the situation particularly significant. The sudden intersection of military escalation and economic sensitivity created a tense atmosphere. Financial analysts suggested that Buffett's interest might reflect concerns about potential disruptions to global markets, energy flows, and investor confidence. Even without confirmation of damage, the perception of instability alone was enough to trigger heightened alert across financial institutions. The world appeared to be reacting in real time, with uncertainty spreading faster than verified information. Before we go deeper into what sources are claiming about these alleged strikes, how the situation is unfolding, and why Warren Buffett's reaction is drawing global attention, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss the latest updates on major geopolitical developments shaping the world. According to early reports, the alleged strikes targeted installations described as key operational hubs. Some sources claimed that logistical centers, surveillance nodes, and defensive infrastructure were among the areas affected. These claims remain unverified, but analysts emphasize that even limited disruption at strategically important facilities could carry significant implications. Observers pointed out that such bases often function as coordination points for regional defense and intelligence sharing. Reports suggested that the strikes may have occurred in rapid succession, creating confusion about the full scale of the operation. Commentators noted that coordinated timing could amplify both psychological impact and operational uncertainty. While details remained unclear, the narrative emerging from early sources portrayed the incident as a calculated move designed to send a strong signal. The lack of immediate clarity only intensified speculation, with analysts attempting to piece together fragmentary information. The importance of installations described as key military hubs cannot be overstated. Military observers explained that facilities of this type typically support surveillance operations, air defense coordination, and rapid response planning. If even temporary disruptions occurred, operational planning across the region could be affected. This possibility contributed to rising tension, as security experts evaluated potential ripple effects. Financial markets also reacted cautiously. Analysts noted that geopolitical uncertainty often influences investor behavior, especially when developments involve strategically sensitive regions. Some commentators suggested that Warren Buffett's reported attention signaled broader concerns about market stability. Energy markets, shipping routes, and supply chains all appeared vulnerable to sudden geopolitical shifts. Even speculation about disruptions can create volatility. As news spread, governments across the region reportedly heightened alert levels. Security analysts began assessing possible responses while diplomatic channels worked quietly behind the scenes. Some experts warned that incidents like this, even if limited, could trigger broader reactions depending on how each side interprets the situation. The atmosphere of uncertainty continued to build, with officials urging caution until more information became available. However, conflicting narratives soon emerged. While some sources described the alleged strikes as significant, others suggested that defensive systems may have mitigated potential damage. According to reports, certain officials indicated that operations remained functional and that assessments were still ongoing, This difference in messaging created immediate debate across the global security community. Situations like this often produce competing interpretations. One narrative may emphasize capability and impact, while another highlights continuity and resilience. Analysts noted that messaging plays a critical role during tense moments, shaping both public perception and strategic calculations. Maintaining deterrence while avoiding escalation becomes a delicate balance. The contrast between claims and responses added another layer of uncertainty. Security experts began analyzing what the incident could mean for regional stability. If the reported strikes demonstrated vulnerabilities, defense planners would likely review protective measures. If damage was limited, the focus would shift toward reinforcing deterrence messaging. Either scenario carried implications for future interactions. The world appeared to be watching closely as assessments unfolded. Beyond the immediate military dimension, economic implications quickly moved into focus. Warren Buffett's reported attention amplified discussion about investor sentiment. Analysts warned that geopolitical shocks can influence capital flows, commodity prices, and risk perception. Even temporary instability can affect decision-making across industries. The intersection of security and economics added to the gravity of the moment. Military strategists also highlighted broader significance. If coordinated strikes occurred, they could represent evolving tactics in modern conflict scenarios. Understanding how such operations unfold helps shape future preparedness. Defense planners often study incidents like this to evaluate response times, defensive capabilities, and operational resilience. The event, regardless of scale, could become a case study. Energy markets remained particularly sensitive. The region plays a central role in global energy supply, and any escalation raises concerns about production and transportation. Analysts noted that uncertainty alone can influence pricing. Investors watched closely for signals indicating whether the situation might stabilize or escalate. The possibility of ripple effects extended far beyond the immediate area. Diplomatic pressure also appeared to be building. International observers suggested that governments were likely engaging in quiet communication to prevent further escalation. Maintaining stability often becomes the priority during rapidly developing situations. Some experts argued that strong messaging from multiple sides could serve as a deterrent against further incidents. Others warned that misinterpretation could still lead to heightened tension. Meanwhile, analysts debated the significance of Warren Buffett's involvement. Known primarily for long-term investment strategy, Buffett rarely reacts publicly to breaking geopolitical developments. Some commentators suggested that his reported monitoring of the situation reflected concern about broader economic implications. Others cautioned against reading too much into limited information. The discussion itself, however, highlighted the unusual nature of the moment. Uncertainty continued to dominate the global conversation. Reports remained fragmented, and official confirmations were limited. Analysts emphasized that initial claims during breaking situations often evolve as more information becomes available. The difference between early perception and later verification can shape both market reaction and political response. For now, ambiguity remained a defining feature. Experts warned about escalation risk. Incidents involving strategically important installations can create pressure for response, even if damage is limited. Decision-makers must weigh deterrence, stability, and diplomatic considerations. Some observers suggested that careful messaging could help contain the situation. Others cautioned that rapid developments leave little room for miscalculation. The economic dimension added further complexity. Investor confidence often depends on predictability, and sudden geopolitical developments introduce uncertainty. Analysts noted that markets can react not only to events themselves, but to expectations of future instability. The combination of military claims and financial sensitivity made the situation particularly volatile. For military planners, the reported strikes underscored the evolving nature of regional security dynamics. Defense systems, intelligence coordination, and rapid response capabilities all become critical during such moments. Evaluating performance under pressure helps shape long-term strategy. Observers suggested that the incident could influence future planning regardless of its ultimate scale. As the situation continued to develop, governments and analysts awaited clearer information. Some experts believed the tension might ease if assessments confirmed limited impact. Others warned that even symbolic incidents can influence strategic calculations. The balance between perception and reality remains central to the unfolding narrative. For now, uncertainty remains. Reports continue to circulate, analysts continue to debate, and markets remain sensitive to new information. The alleged strikes and the reported reaction from Warren Buffett have already transformed this into a major developing story. The coming hours may prove critical as more details emerge. The world is watching closely. Governments remain alert, investors monitor signals, and security experts analyze implications. Whether the situation stabilizes or escalates further remains unclear. What is certain is that the combination of military claims and economic attention has created a moment of intense global focus. As additional information becomes available, analysts will continue examining what happened, what damage may have occurred, and what it means for regional stability. For now, the narrative remains unresolved. Tension persists, assessments continue, and uncertainty lingers as this breaking story continues to unfold.